So, when the booming pulses of pain got down to less crippling, Chase looked around his room to see what he should bring. If he dared to bring a coat or backpack, someone might see it and figure his plan out. He stuffed some extra rations he'd saved into his pockets. He patted them down to make sure they weren't very obvious. He'd heard Merc go downstairs, telling Ron he was ordering up parties for a rescue mission. They'd be capturing stragglers. Ron was told to make sure Chase did his chores and left on guard at the front door. Chase gently tossed a sweatshirt over his back with his right arm. Even the minor movement of his torso made him bite his lips to keep a cry back. "Stop babying your arm," Chase whispered to himself, but he held it carefully as he went down the stairs, silent like a corpse. When he got down to the kitchen, he saw Ron down there waiting for him, watching him. Chase checked to make sure his face wasn't wet, and he'd missed a couple spots. He wiped his eyes and nose dry on his shirt, balled up in his hand. "Aw, come on, quit crying," Ron said. "Come here." Chase grimaced angrily. "But it's broken." Ron glanced at it, noticing the bruising around the underside. "You sure?" "I know when I've broken something, Ron." Chase forced his voice even. He was getting familiar with the feeling. "So?" Ron shrugged. "Don't be such a baby about it. I'm sure you deserved it." "Can you help me splint it?" Chase sniffed snot back, getting angrier. He tried not to show it, because if Ron wouldn't splint it, it would get much worse. "Of course," Ron shrugged, pulling out stuff out of his backpack. It was on the floor next to his stool. He'd brought stuff ready for this. "What are friends for?" "You think I deserved it?" Chase asked. Ron shrugged, unrolling foam and wrapping stuff. He started taping stuff to Ghost's arm. He was not bad at it. "Seems simple to me," Ron said. "Don't piss off the commander, then you don't get your arm broken. What did you do to get him this mad anyway?" "Nothing," Chase said, grunting and jerking back as Ron touched the broken spot. Ron gripped his arm more firmly and put the piece of wood across it. "All I did was not come home last night." Ron went silent, wrapping the roll around Ghost's arm. "I was scared because so many of us probably got killed. I was afraid of Dad." "You know, that's just part of life," Ron said. "Kids make the parents worry, so they beat the kids. Natural." "Shouldn't a dad actually be kinder to his own kid?" Ron looked up at him, roughly ripping the tape where it was, between his nails. "Ouch," Chase whispered, pulling his arm back. "You have a dad," Ron said. "Be grateful." Chase tugged his sweatshirt over the splint very slowly. "I gotta do my chores. I'll be right back," Chase said. He didn't look at Ron, afraid his face would betray him. "Good boy. Be back on the double," Ron said, leaning back onto the kitchen stool.